Are you ready to buy a home? If so, you're in luck.
What do you mean they're in luck? What are you going to do? Sell our house out from underneath us?
No, Sean, I'm not selling our house.
All right, good.
But we are here today to talk to you about the pros and cons of owning a home. You've been a real estate agent now for about 10 years, and we've owned our home for about 11 years. So we both know quite a bit about owning property. So why don't we start with the pros? What would you say is the biggest advantage of owning a home?
So, owning a home is a powerful wealth building tool. When you own your home, over time you build equity in that house. So, as your real estate values go up, your wealth goes up. Also, as you make a monthly mortgage payment, a portion of that monthly mortgage payment is principal. So, that's money you're basically putting back in your pocket. Whereas if you're renting, that monthly rent is going into somebody else's pockets. You're either paying down their mortgage, building equity for them, or you're just putting money right in their pocket.
So it's pretty much money out the window if you're renting.
God.
So that's probably why homeowners have higher net worth compared to renters.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for them to build that wealth. Renters, it's every month that money's gone. With a homeowner, every month you're increasing.
What would you say is the second biggest advantage of owning a home?
So your home is a tangible asset. When you own your own home, you can borrow against the equity you've built up in your house. So let's say you want to pay for your kid's college education, or you want to start a business. You can pull the equity out of your home to do that. You can either get a home equity line of credit, or you can refinance your mortgage and cash out a bit, and now you've got that capital to work with. You can also use it to pay off high interest debt. So let's say you've got a credit card or 5 credit cards with 15%, 20%, 25% interest rates. You can pull that equity out of your house and at a much lower interest rate, pay off that debt.
You can buy an investment property and keep building wealth that way, right?
Yeah, so that's a great way to build wealth. So you're pulling the money out of the house, and now you're taking that money and reinvesting it, and you're potentially bringing significant sums of money in if you do it correctly, and as you should. You're going to be bringing money in. So now that money is making money. So you're paying your mortgage, somebody else is paying for the second property, and hopefully you've got a little bit of extra money left over on side.
You could buy a Ferrari.
Right, we just talked about buying equity and wealth and reinvesting your money. You buy a Ferrari, you're throwing money out the window. Don't get me wrong, you've got Ferrari, so there's something there. But you don't want to be taking that equity from your house and buying things like Ferraris, jet skis, ponies.
Ponies?
Ponies. Maybe ponies.
Maybe ponies.
Yeah, maybe you want to get a pony.
What would you say is another advantage of owning a home?
So when you own a home and you've got a 20-year or 30-year fixed mortgage, you've stabilized your housing cost. You know that every month you're going to be paying X, or essentially you're going to be paying
It's a predictable cost.
Yeah, it's a predictable cost. Whereas if you're renting over time, your rent's going to go up from $1,300 to $1,500 to $1,800 to $2,000 a month. So if you're in an apartment for 10 years, that lease expires, those costs go up, and they go up significantly.
Yeah, and I mean, one thing to keep in mind there is that your mortgage payment isn't always going to be 100% the same.
No.
There are some things that do go up, like, for example, property tax. So we've had our home for about 11 years. Our property tax in that time frame has gone up by maybe $200. Mm-hmm. So that's about $18 a month. But again, compared to renting and rental costs going up, that's pretty negligible.
Yeah, your rent goes up $200 a month. Your property tax went up $1,800 a month. That's a big swing.
Yeah. Another thing that can go up is homeowners insurance, although that's usually pretty negligible. But it is something that can also go up, so it's good to keep that in mind.
Yep.
What about the flexibility to renovate or remodel?
Yeah, so if you own your own property, you want to renovate a kitchen, renovate a bathroom, take out carpets, put in hardwood flooring. You just do it because you want to do it. If you're renting a property, you can make upgrades to the apartment. First off, you have to get permission from the landlord, and they're usually only going to let you paint. But if they allow you to renovate a bathroom or kitchen, you're investing that money. That's now theirs. So you
can't take that with you.
Yeah, you spend $5,000, $10,000 on a bathroom. That's a gift to your landlord, and you don't want to be gifting them anything.
Yeah, and that's actually what we did when we bought our house 11 years ago. We didn't have a lot of money, so what we decided to do was buy a fixer-upper, and with Sean's skills, we were able to fix it up over time and add quite a lot of value to our house.
Yeah.
So that's also a good way to go if you have the skill set to do that.
Yeah, you can pay someone to do the work for you, or you can throw a little sweat equity in there and do it yourself.
You can also landscape however you want.
Yeah, so if you're renting an apartment, you can't even often plant a bush or a flower. Like, you need permission for everything you do.
Yeah. You could also do an addition to your house.
Right, so you buy a house, you can do an addition off it. You just have to make sure that you're compliant with the zoning for where your house is. There's different setbacks and different requirements. You can't build over 3 floors, or you can't build over 5 floors. You got to be within 15 feet of a boundary or 25 feet from a boundary. So if that's your plan when you're buying a house, is to do an addition, just make sure that the house is going to be compliant with what you want with the lot that it has.
Now, like anything in life, there are definitely some disadvantages to owning a home. Mm-hmm. What would you say the biggest disadvantage is?
For me, it would be lack of mobility. When you're in an apartment, you're fluid, basically. If you want to move to Florida, move to California, move to New York, wherever it is you want to go, you can break your lease, and for a small penalty, usually it's 2 months or 3 months, you're out and you're gone, and your job took you to Florida, your mother took you to Florida, I don't care what it is.
I mean, it's not always small for everybody. It depends what your monthly rent is.
But if you're in a property for 2 years, the cost of getting out of a home is going to be significantly larger than the cost of getting out of an apartment.
Right, yeah.
You've got closing costs when you sell a house. So when you're selling a house, you're going to pay broker fees, attorney fees. If there's, probably wouldn't be at less than 2 years capital gains, but you'd also have to pay capital gains on the property. So that's money out of your pocket, or money you have to bring to the table potentially. So what I'm saying is, it's not that expensive. Sure, right. It's $6,000
comparatively speaking.
Yeah, $6,000 to get out of a lease. You might be $20,000 or $30,000 to get out of that house.
But you can usually make up for that if you do own your home for longer than a year or two.
Yeah, if you're in a house for 10 years, 15 years, when you go to sell it, you've built up enough equity where you're not only not paying anything to close, you should be putting money in your pocket.
What's another big disadvantage?
Maintenance. So when you're in an apartment, your landlord takes care of everything. Something breaks, you call the landlord, he fixes it. When you own a home, you've got scheduled maintenance and unexpected maintenance. So you're going to plan for your scheduled maintenance. You might know you bought the house and the home inspector said, hey, your roof's going to have to get replaced in 5 years. So you budget for it. You save up, and in 5 years you replace your roof. But your roof might leak. So now all of a sudden you have an unexpected expense. So now you have to immediately find the money to fix that roof.
Yeah.
So when you're purchasing a home, you have to understand you're going to pay for painting your house every 7 to 10 years. You're going to replace your roof after 25 years. Your furnace is going to have to get replaced at some point. Your appliances are going to age out. Your landlord takes care of that. When you own a home, you need to plan for it. You need to understand that that's going to happen.
All right. I think that pretty much covers it for today's video. And in the next video, we're going to be talking about the advantages and disadvantages of renting.
Yep, there are pros to renting. We kind of made it look horrible, but there are definite upsides to renting.
And downsides,
Definitely.
as always. So we'll cover both of those next time. Talk to you then.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.